Alright guys, in today's video, I'm just going to go over this Lorcana deck that I just took to a $500 cash tournament. I'm uploading so late because I just got back home from the tournament. It went a lot longer than I thought it was going to. But I ended up bringing Ruby Amethyst. I know that's, nothing particularly special. But I've been, just in my head trying to basically figure out the mirror while also not sacrificing too much against aggro. And so we ended up going to top 4 and then cutting because we'd already been there for like 7.5 hours, and there was no time limit, and there were 3 Ruby Amethysts in the top 4, and we just didn't want to sit there for like another 3 or 4 hours. So we split, which was fine with me, and I went undefeated. And so the first round was the only free round I had. Guy was just running Amber Amethyst aggro with like 4 Maleficents and 4 man, my brain is fried, guys. The 1-drop Lilo, and it was just he didn't apply enough pressure to me quickly enough. I drew my early cards. I drew my Archimedes and my Gastons and stuff like that, and was able to just control the board early, and just never got behind on the board again. I guess I'll just go over the deck real quick before I talk about any more of the matches. So I had the one of Shield of Virtue. It underperformed, but it's needed for the mirror match, so it's fine. I guess it did perform well at what it's supposed to do. Gaston is, in my opinion, 100% needed because you need more ways of dealing with a turn 2 Simba, and it trades into Cusco and Mad Hatter. So I think for those reasons, I think you just have to have Gaston. In the mirror match, he's auto-inked. Never play him. Great. I accidentally clicked on Aladdin with the right side. But 3-drop Aladdin that makes your opponent lose a lore is actually really essential, because if you get behind in the mirror match, it can help you claw your way back, also apply a little bit of pressure, and then against aggro and mid-range, playing it on turn 4, you can either bluff or actually threaten shifting into the 7-drop Aladdin and, stabilizing. And so if your opponent doesn't respect it and you do have it, they lose the game. And then if they don't respect it, or, if they do respect it and you don't have it, then you're slowing them down. So just really good to have, obviously. This is one of the things that I think needed to be just a concession. Since I have 4 Mauis in here, and I have 4 Rafikis in here, and I have 4 Be Prepareds and 4 Maleficents, the deck already runs 20 non-inkables, and I know that count is really high, but I mull a certain way, and I have other deck choices that help with this. But I think 3 Dragonfire is actually correct, and it did exactly what it was supposed to do, and it was fine. Goofy is really important for like Emerald X matchups because they play Tinkerbell. It's an alternate win con. It's something in the control mirror that your opponent has to invest a major resource in, like a Dragonfire or Maleficent. So it's actually really, really good. 4 Maui, again, great for stabilizing. You can hit the Cuscos, you can hit the Mad Hatters, you can hit Shifted Tinkerbell, which is really nice. Mirror match, it goes in ink every time, but against everything else, it's basically just fantastic. Really good against Amber Steel as well. Because it basically can clear stuff without damaging it, so they can't get value out of Rapunzel. And then, of course, I have the 4 Be Prepared. What's so great about board wipes in this game in particular is being able to sing this and then being able to develop the board. So, like, a lot of times today, I would sing it, then I play Aladdin with like an Elsa in my hand, so that way I could like stabilize that way. So it being able to be sung is just crazy. And then we have 4 Maleficents, which is just a threat, and it answers threats, so just fantastic. 4 Archimedes, because you have to have a way of pressuring, aggro, so they don't just start questing right away with no interruption. And if I was going first and I knew or thought my opponent wasn't playing aggro, then he would just always go into ink. Then we have the 2 Befuddle. It's another way of getting around Simba, but also at the end of the game, if you just have 1 Befuddle left, you can befuddle a broom, so that way you can just keep brooming the befuddle back into your deck and not deck out if it comes to that. And then we have 3 Magic Mirror. So a lot of the I played two control mirrors and I smoked them both, and um, they both played Ursula's Cauldron really early on, and I know one of them had at least two cauldrons. I don't know about the other guy. I only know the other guy had two because one was hollow, one wasn't. I pay attention to stuff like that. But basically, it didn't matter if they were going through their deck because um, they didn't have the resources to play it all. And I was going for like 20 plus ink, and they didn't understand the game plan and the control matchup that you just need that much ink. And so while they were shooting through their deck so much, it didn't matter because they didn't have the ink that I had, and I would just, you know, um, have my mirrors and just ink a bunch. So them getting Cauldron really doesn't matter in the mirror, and you really just need one. Absolutely fantastic. Make sure that you can keep inking and getting to those high numbers, and that's all I did with it. And then late game when your deck's really low, you can search for the Be Prepared, the Elsas and stuff like that to slow down your opponent and stabilize, win the game, right? Friends on the other side, it's amazing, of course. Able to be sung by Maleficent, Rafiki, and 3-drop Aladdin, which is all great. Maleficent, I auto ink this in the mirror match because basically the mirrors get more value than the Maleficents do long term, and you just need that much ink, so you have to ink it. I had a lot of in the control matchups, I would play Maleficent and get the draw, and I get that's like a regular play pattern in the game, but it's just not something that you're actually supposed to do. And then this is my own personal thing. Like a lot of these like 67 card lists are running like 2 Rafiki, but I knew I was gonna lose to aggro if I did not run 4 of these, and so I just let my non-inkable count be higher. And if I did not have this in the top 8 cut, my opponent was playing Amber Emerald aggro, and game 1 he just-in-timed into Cusco, and then the next turn he shifted into Rockstar Stitch. Then he played another Cusco, and then he top decked 2 more Cuscos. So I lost game 1 and had to win 2 and 3 against an aggro deck. And game 3 he was going first, and if it wasn't for Rafiki, I would have lost that match. And I saw Rafiki games 2 and 3, and I think it's only because I had a 4 of, so I was very happy with this. This is not the list that I ran. I only ended up cutting Pocket Watch down to 2 because Queen was just really overperforming for me in every tournament I've ever played her. I think she's my favorite card in the game. But yeah, 2 Pocket Watches because late game you need to cycle brooms into opponent's cards, put those cards back in your deck, and yeah, you basically need to give more than one thing haste. So you need both the Pocket Watches, and really if you're trying to really maximize a mirror, you probably need 3 Pocket Watches. But I didn't think that my opponents would have like a good enough grasp on the mirror, and I was right. So I thought I could get away with 2 Pocket Watches and go with 4 queens, and that's how it ended up turning out. The Mickey, you need it. You need 2 of them. You can't ever ink it in the mirror because you need to set up Mickey broom boards, and then if that gets pre-prepared, you need to have another Mickey to set up the Mickey broom board again, and you just put the Mickey that just got prepared back into your deck with the brooms. So gotta have it, can't ink it. And then the all-star of the deck today was Queen. There were so many times where I was trying to curve out into like a Be Prepared or an Elsa or even a Maleficent, and I needed to top deck a non-inkable, and I wouldn't, and I'd have to tap Queen to get the non-inkables. And so having 4 of her really helped my high non-inkable count and survive. So Queen was just, I mean, I probably drew, there were games where I would draw like 6+ cards off of queens. There was one game where I had 2 queens out and I was drawing for turn and drawing twice with Queen. Queen also can't be beasted, which is really great. And then also they can't like if they've played Beast, they can't swing Beast into Queen and survive and then get Rapunzeled. So you don't have to have like Shield of Virtue to untap her. So it's really, really great stuff. One Ursula, big fan of Ursula. Just wasn't a lot of space left in the deck, and that's weird, being that it's 67 cards. But you know, I'm already at 20 non-inkables, and Ursula performs so hard every time. Like I was a one of, but I saw it so many times today, and fantastic card. And then I am running 4 of the 8-drop Elsa because you just have to stabilize, in my opinion. Like the deck that this whole thing was like based off, I was only running 3 of these and 1 Queen, and I just hard disagree with that decision. And if I didn't have 4 Elsas in my deck, I wouldn't have done as well as I did anyway. But I ended up going 4-0, and then the other guy that was running Ruby Amethyst, there was like 9 people running Ruby Amethyst to say the other guy, but he we were both XO, and so we just drew so that we could have like a mental break. and then I played the Lemon Lime player. So it was the Amber Sapphire, Mirror, Mirror, and then I played up against. Unfortunately, is my friend that brought me to the tournament. He was playing Amber's Amber Steel. In game one, I made a horrible attack that let him get 3 draws off of Rapunzel, and so I lost game one. And it was right after my 2 mirrors, and I had like mental just fatigue. But I was mad because I knew I shouldn't really lose that match. So then I won games 2 and 3, luckily. And then I went up against the Lemon Lime aggro player and had to win 2 and 3, which was very stressful. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. There's some gameplay on like Mana Wars Facebook. I might find that and link it in the description, so you guys can see my games if you want to. I think it was on camera round 4 and round 6, but all in all, I went 5-1-0. So 5 wins, the agreed upon draw, because we were both going to make it in a top 8 anyway, so there's no reason to play and give each other information and wear ourselves out even more. And then I won in top 8, and then we split top 4. So yeah, that's the deck. That's my reasoning for everything. I'm very happy with basically all the decisions I made. If I wouldn't have built it exactly like this for today's tournament anyway, I would not have gotten as far as I did. So I'll definitely take that. But yeah, sorry for the late upload, guys. I'm just I'm tired. My brain has been obliterated. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.